Hello students, I am Mrs. Anjali Nadagowda, lecturer, Department of Chemistry, KLS Gokte College, Belagavi. This is my fifth video. The topic is some basic concepts of chemistry. In my last video, you have learned about the scientific notation, is it? And how to convert the given number in scientific notation. We have also learned how to do the mathematical operations on the scientific notations, right? So today we are going to learn few more concepts. In that, first one is precision and accuracy. See, whenever we do any practical, we take some readings, is it? We have learned 7 basic physical quantities, that we call it as fundamental quantities. In that, first one is length. Okay, suppose if I have taken a table whose length is measured, right? Along with me, some other people, if they measure it, right? Are the values of that table, whether all the readings will be same? No, obviously not. Though the length of the table is fixed, but due to human error, that may be the eyesight error or due to device error or the apparatus error, right? There is always some difference in the reading. Okay, so some readings are close to each other or very near to each other, and therefore we say it is precise, that is precision. So precision refers to the closeness of various measurements for the quantity. Whereas what is accuracy? When we say it is accurate, whenever we get the true value and our calculated value both are same, then we say it is accurate, means it refers to the accuracy. Accuracy is the agreement of a particular value to the true value of the result. Okay, so I will explain you by using this example only. Okay, so length of the table is given as 2 meter, means the perfect value is 2 meter. If the 4 students A, B, C, D has taken the readings as trial 1 and trial 2, all the values are in meter. Okay, so how the values are taken? First student A in trial 1, it gives the result as 1.2 and 1.8. Okay, if you see these two values are not close to each other, means there is a difference between the reading of the same person. Okay, and if you take the average of these two, now I hope you know how to take the average of this, right? There are two readings, so add both and divide by 2. If the average comes as 1.5. Okay, so with this reading, what we can predict about the precision and accuracy? The two readings are close to each other and hence they are precise. Is it? Yes. But the result, average result, is not matching with the true value of the given length. Okay, means accuracy is not there. Okay. Yes, student B, 1.5 and 1.7. Right? So here also the difference between the reading is very small, means they are very close to each other, hence it is precise. Now when you compare A and B, the first student has not the precise readings. Okay, because there is a difference between that, right? Then average value also doesn't match or doesn't exactly not equal to the true value. Okay, hence the accuracy is also not there, right? Yes. Next, student C. If you see there, 1.5 and 2.5. So in these readings, there is a difference, vast difference is there. Means the values are not precise also. If you see average, average is exact, right? Means it is matching with true value and hence accuracy is there, is it? And if you see the reading of student D, then it is 1.9 and 2.1. So which are matching or almost close to the accurate reading, as well as these readings are very close to each other and hence they are precise, as well as the average is exactly matching with the true result and hence it is accurate also. Okay, means these two terms are relative terms. Okay, so where it is applied, whenever we take readings for the practicals, we can see whether it is precise or whether it is accurate. Okay, now error always remains. Why remains? Because it may be a personal error, that is human eyesight, okay, or it may be the error of apparatus which we are using, or the device or the instrument which we are using for measuring that quantity. Okay, so errors are of because of different things, right? And hence whenever we give any reading, always the figures in that are, some are certain and some are uncertain, and this we can find out by using the significant figure. So the next term is significant figure. Okay, now what is the uncertainty in the experimental or calculated value is indicated by measuring the number of significant figures. Okay, what is uncertainty? Uncertainty means which is not certain, which is not sure. For example, if I give, if you weigh your weight, okay, on two different weighing machines, all of you know it. Have you seen the weighing machine of doctor? Yes, it gives the weight of 50, 55, 60 like this, right? Means it is the multiple of 5. But if you go to digital weighing machine, it will give you with the decimal point. Suppose a person is weighing 50 kg, okay, on one weighing machine, machine number 1, and on second weighing machine it is weighing as 50.2 kg. Now which one is accurate? Yes, both are accurate, no doubt, but it depends on the machine which is used. Means in both the readings, that is from machine 1 and machine 2, if you see in this, the one digit is certain, means here 5 means value is 50, so it is nearby, right? The next digit is uncertain. Now in this second reading, 50.2 kg, is it? So first 50 kg is correct, accurate, but there is uncertainty in 0.2, is it? Means this is called as uncertainty. Now if there is any other machine which weighs something 49.2, right? So, sorry, 49.9 kg. So which is precise reading, means which is close to 50. Means in that 49 is correct, but 0.9 is uncertain, right? So this is how, while taking the reading, some figures are certain and some figures are uncertain, and this is indicated by significant figure. Okay, so significant figures are meaningful digits which are known with certainty. Along with certainty, even uncertain digits are added in that, which are indicated by writing in the last. Okay, so the uncertainty is indicated by writing the certain digits and the last uncertain digit. Okay, how much uncertainty is understood? Plus or minus 1 in any reading, uncertainty is approved or uncertainty is understood. Okay, so how to find out how many significant figures are there in given number. For that, some rules are there. Okay, which rules are there? First one is all non-zero digits are significant. All non-zero digits, I am using the word digits. Digits means from 1 to 9. From 1 to 9 are called as digits. Okay, 0 is, these are all non-zero digits, whereas 0 is considered as 0. Okay, yes. Now, all non-zero digits are significant, means from 1 to 9, any digit if it is present in the given number, it is significant. So, here are the example. In 345 centimeter, how many non-zero digits are there? 3. So, how many significant figures are there? 3. Like this in second example, 0.25 means 2, 5 are only non-zero digits, hence 2 significant figures are there. Okay, yes. Second one, if zeros are there, how it is taken? Now, the position of 0 may get changed. It may come before the non-zero digit, that is, or it may come after the non-zero digit. Okay, so zeros preceding to first non-zero digit means, which are called as leading zeros, are not significant. Means which are before the non-zero digit, they are non-significant. Okay, so such a zero indicates the position of decimal point. For example, in 0.04, one significant figure is there. Okay, because only this is non-zero digit and this 0 has no significance. Okay, then in 0.0045, this digit, these zeros are non-significant. Hence, how many significant figures are there? Only 2. Now, if these zeros are in between of two non-zero digits, what happen? They all are considered as significant. Okay. For example, in 3.05, how many significant figures are there? 3. In 5.046, how many? 4. Okay. So, these are the rules. Now, continuing the rule, next rule is zeros at the end or right of a number. Right of a number means after the decimal point, if the 0 comes, it is considered as significant figure. Okay. But what should be the condition? It is at the right hand side of the decimal point. Okay. For example, 0.50. How many significant figures are there? 2. In 0.600, how many significant figure? 3. Because all these two zeros, these are after the decimal point and hence these are considered as significant. Okay. These are also called as trailing zeros. Okay. Next, the terminal zeros are not significant, non-significant if there is no decimal point. Means if there is no decimal point, then all zeros are non-significant. For example, in 100, only one significant figure. These zeros are non-significant. Okay. In 100 point is given, means further one more 0 is there, right? Hence, these two are called as what? Significant. Hence, total how many significant figures are there? 3 significant figures. Okay. Then 100.0, right? It is 4 significant figure because it is mentioned here. Hence 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 significant figures are there. Okay. So such numbers are better represented in scientific notation like 1.000 into 10 to the power. Okay. We can write it as 10 to the power 2, 10 to the power 3 like this for any given number. Okay. Yes. Next one is counting the number of objects. Means whenever we count banana or apple or any pen, pencils, etc., these numbers are having infinite significant figures because these can be represented as writing many number of zeros after placing a decimal point. So if I want to write 2 balls, I can write it as 2.0000. How many zeros I can increase, right? Hence it is infinite significant figure. Okay. Now in numbers written in scientific notation, all digits are significant. This is very very important. For example, 2.2 into 10 to the power 1, nothing is there means 2.2 into 10 to the power 1. Okay, so it contains two significant figure here. Sorry, uh, the powers are not written properly. So here it is 10 to the power 1, and in this second example 10 to the power 2. Okay, now in this please make the correction. In such numbers, the powers 10 to the powers are not considered as significant figure, but only the numbers which are given before that, that is n, capital N value. In we have already seen 10 to the power n. This is how the scientific notation is written. So the digits which are present in this n are considered as significant figure. Okay. So in first example it is two significant figure, and in second example 8035, all four digits are considered as significant figure. Okay, so these rules are also given in the textbook. Please read the textbook. If you have any doubts, you can ask me, or read thoroughly, you will come to know. Okay, yes. Here is exercise given for finding out the significant figures. Try it yourself and write the answers. Okay. Yes. Now we will see how to add or multiply the significant figure numbers. Okay. So whenever we do the addition of such decimal point numbers, right, we add it normally like this. Let us consider the first example, 15.16 plus 20.2 plus 5.025. Now in addition, first of all we have to check which one is having minimum number of digits. Okay, so in first addition, this is having 4 digits. Okay, the first one is having 4 digits, then second one is having 3 digits, the first one is having 4 digits, the second one is having 3 digits, whereas the next one is having again 4 digits. So which one is minimum in this? It is second one, that is 20.2. After addition, whatever answer we are getting, always we have to write the answer in such a way that it should contain the same number of significant figures as that of minimum one. Okay, means we have to write the answer in such a way that which consists of only 3 significant figures. Okay, yes, this is about addition. Now in second example, this one 1.35, 1.35, how many significant figures are there? 3 significant figures are there, whereas in second one 2 significant figures are there, but the final answer contains 4 significant figures, right? Now we have to write the answer in such a way that though we get it the answer in 4 significant figure, we have to write the answer in with minimum significant figures as that are there in the given sum or given problem. Okay, so for that we must cancel some digits which are not required in this answer, and that is called as rounding of the numbers. Especially when we do all such things, whenever we are calculating the percentage, whenever you are saying your percentage marks, are you telling the full digits, all the digits? No. we are restricting ourselves with 3 or 4 significant figures, right? Means after the decimal point we are usually using only one digit, is it? Means for example, if you are getting 89.34%, 89.34%, how you are reporting? You are reporting it as 89.3%, or in short you are reporting approximately, you are reporting it as 89%, right? So what you are doing exactly, this is called as rounding of the number. Okay, so this is required while solving the problems. Okay, now here the note is given: in above mathematical operations, results should be limited to the same number of significant figures as much as minimum as there in the given sum. Okay, so in first sum, the minimum one is this one, 20.2, and in second one it is 2.5. Okay, so while limiting the result to the required number of significant figure, one has to follow some rules called as rules for rounding of the numbers. Okay, so let us see the rules. These are very common rules and you have already known this, but let us revise. Okay, so if the rightmost digit, means whichever digits we are cancelling or which are rounding off, to be removed is more than 5, right, the preceding digit is increased by 1. Preceding means previous to that. For example, in 1.279, if we have to remove this 9, then it is greater than 5 or more than 5, hence previous digit is added with 1. Okay, so the answer is 1.28. If the rightmost digit to be removed is less than 5, then the preceding digit is not changed. For example, in 1.234, it is given as, see, this 4 we have to remove, and hence what we have to write? 1.23. Why? Because the previous digit, it is this digit which we are removing is less than 5. Okay. Now, if the rightmost digit is exactly 5, then there are two cases, right? What is that? The preceding digit, if it is not changed, if it is an even number, means if the preceding digit, previous digit, if it is even number, then it is not changed, it remains as it is. Okay, or it is retained, right? Now here we have to remove this rightmost 5, so but the previous digit to that is 4, hence as it is even number, it is not removed. Okay, the preceding digit is increased or the number is increased by 1 if it is an odd number, but when the condition is if the removed digit is exactly 5. Okay, so 2.375, in this the rightmost digit is 5, hence if we want to remove this, the previous digit is 7, means we have to add 1. Okay, so by applying these rules we can write the answer for these previous calculation. Now you can find the answer of previous calculation as, just see, in first it comes as 40.385, the last rightmost digit is 5, right? So if we want to remove this 5, what we should write? Now the previous digit is 8, so it is even, no need to change, hence the final answer comes as 40.38. Is it? In second case, even the rightmost digit is 5, is it? Hence, but the previous one is odd, hence we have to add 1. So what is the final answer? 3.38. Okay, now if you want to make it two significant figure, means how much it should be? It should be restricted one digit after the decimal point, then we have to remove this 8, isn't it? So to remove this 8 is greater than 5, and hence we have to add 1 in previous digit, so the final answer comes as 3.4. Okay, So this is how the rounding of numbers is done. Okay. Yes. Let us go further. Here is one exercise given to convert the following by unit factor method or factor label method. What is that method? To see that you have to watch one more video which is I am sending with this only. Okay, and then solve this. I hope you have solved such type of problems in your school age, but here the method is little bit different, and for that you must see that video. Okay, thank you.